Hello everyone. Today we're going to start the networking phase 1. Here I'm going to share the examples and definitions of different types of networking concepts. So these are the concepts we are going to cover in this phase 1. So let us go through each of them one by one. So here we go. So what's networking? Let us take a system A and a system B. It wants to send some resources or files or some data to B. This is where networks come to life. Using a network, two or more devices can share data and resources. We can see them in websites, online games, apps, all around. And and majorly, we need to know few things in this phase. One is TCP, and another is UDP. One is transmission control protocol and other is user datagram protocol. The key differences between TCP and UDP are TCP is connection oriented. So in TCP, a connection is established before a data is sent. So that means there will be some sort of communication beforehand before doing any some sort of communication. And why use TCP? Because TCP is reliable, ordered, and have error checking. Let's say if I have two persons here, A and B, in UDP, I'll just send him data and he'll send me data. That's it. We don't have any check if the data is sent there and data is received here. But in TCP, we have that facility. Two devices, a connection request is sent, acknowledgement received, and after that, data is sent reliably. In TCP, no data is lost, and UDP, it is fast, lightweight, but there is no guarantee that it will work. And let us come to the main point where they are used. Even though UDP is unreliable, it is needed at some places because we don't want to keep on checking if the connection is there. People want to be fast. So, in web browsing, emails, file transfers, we use TCP because we have end to end transfer. And in online gaming, streaming, and multiplayer, we have UDP. So, these are the places we use these protocols in. And coming to the next thing, what are the terms that you need to remember before saying I know TCP, I know UDP? TCP, we use something called three-way handshake, and in UDP, we have a flag called No flags, I think we have a datagram. Send the data and leave it to. In three way, we have an extra flag called acknowledge. This is what makes the real difference between TCP and UDP. Now, let us go through some coding part. To give you an example of this, I'm going to use this library, socket programming using Python. We're going to import a library called socket, and here we have two things that needs to be remembered. One is a stream and one is a datagram. And this isn't much important, but we need to dive into the core topic of TCP and UDP. So I'm going to give you an example using socket library in Python. So 2 points to remember. One is connection is required in TCP and not for UDP. And the second point is some data may be lost. So get started with, I'll have two Python files here. One is a server and other is a client. Here first we need to import socket. This is the library. I have imported threading to handle them concurrently to show you an example. And this is a TCP handler just to show you all what data is sent and what data is collected. And this is the UDP server. So we are going to use the socket library, and to define the UDP we need the flag sockdgram. This function helps us to use UDP because we don't need a connection, and in every socket we need to bind them using this command s dot this function s dot bind, and the parameters are the host we have and the port it is running in. And I have added some random timeouts to simulate the UDP, and this is for infinite loop handling because the program keeps on running even if you do any keyboard interrupts. So this is the server file we have. So the two things to remember here is UDP has sockdgram and TCP has sockstream. And coming to the main thing, client. In client, we are going to use the connect request for TCP, and you don't need a connection for UDP because anybody can access it. So let us go through an example. I'm going to run the server now, and here we have the client. So let us type TCP here. You can see that no connection is made because the target machine refused. That means it is not running. So let us run the TCP here, and let us try to connect with our client. Yes, it is connected to the client. So you can see the acknowledgement from it here. And when I close the connection, it shows connection is closed unexpectedly. Let us check this out with UDP. You can see that UDP doesn't make a connection. It assumes that there is a connection, and let us run real. You can see that packet is received, but we have added some random timeouts to simulate UDP. You can see that the packet is lost, but the response is sent and we didn't receive any response. You can see how this is simulated. So the so for the next phase of things, in phase 2 we are going to see the OSI models and some jargon behind it. Basically, there is a model called OSI. This proposed system contains some layers. Those are the things that going to be covered in the next one. And after that, we're going to deep dive into gRPC. That's what I'm really excited about. So just if you want to explore the socket programming in Python, I'll give you the link in the comments or captions. You can check that out. And after that, we're going to go through gRPC in this module. So please stay tuned. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.